Hey everyone, for my 3-minute video, I want to focus a little bit on the Palestinian health system. While I don't want to go too far into the conflict and maybe why conflicts happening, I think it's really important to understand more about the health system and the current challenges they're facing, as this will probably be one of the bigger health challenges and vulnerable groups we will be talking about in global or even local for public health and focus on vulnerable populations. I think it's really important that we understand the historical context of the Palestinian Health System, Ministry of Health. So really, it has been underfunded for the last century. One of the biggest issues is that it's been administered by several different authorities, such as the Egyptians, the British, the Israelis, all these different points, and really lack of funding on because of this. And this really led to a focus on preventing the spread of diseases to outside of Palestine. So really, it was focused on disease control rather disease prevention or treatment. So as long as it wasn't spreading to foreign populations, they're okay with it kind of running its course. So this caused a lot of weak infrastructure or not enough medical personnel to treat these diseases, and also has created a strong dependence on humanitarian aid and a constant rebuilding of health infrastructure. And so really what this does is it hasn't allowed the Palestinians to create their own health system and make this self-sustainable. They really rely on others for a lot of their needs. Now, just to focus a little bit on the current challenges they're facing. So there's some crazy stats I've seen. So about 1,000 new patients per day within about 2,500 hospitals in the whole territory. So there's really not enough room. And a lot of these hospitals are lack basic supplies for many of the severe trauma from bombing injuries. And they also are a lot of these are hours away from running out of energy to power all of their equipment. And they also lack of fresh water and things like that, really causing a lot of issues in the hospitals. WHO gave a great summary of one of the biggest concerns. There's approximately 50,000 pregnant women and hundreds of babies being about to be born who are at risk for pregnant complications due to this lack of access to care and the stress-induced complications of conflict and of war. So this is really good to focus on women and newborns who are really bearing the brunt of this conflict. There's also a huge concern for child malnutrition. There's due to lack of fresh water and access of healthy food. A lot of these kids, they've seen over like about approximately 12,000 cases of diarrheal cases related diseases, and there's huge concerns for cholera outbreaks due to the lack of fresh water. And then as the article is going to talk about, so approximately 4,000 children have died in the current conflict, which is about 33%, about 67% of those who've been killed in this conflict are women and children. So leaving a lot of children child motherless and really all of those long-term effects, health effects. So I think it's just really important to understand while this is such a tragic event and that we may not know solutions, I think it's really important to be culturally aware, and try to understand these vulnerable populations that we may see from this conflict.